We're misfits, weird, bizarre, strange, ignored, and sorrowful at times. We were bullied, abandoned, beaten, assaulted, destroyed, and wounded to our core. We are survivors, here to stay, despite what they say. Kicking life in the teeth and choosing it every day. Diva Daily Living encompasses a myriad of human engagements of life. Our topics have no limits. We do demand providing a safe space to hold for all survivors and lovers needing healing, support, and comfort. We're here to remind you that you matter and you can choose life today. I am literally not here for me. My creator put me here for you. Diva Dory.
Hello, lovers! Welcome to Diva Daily Living. We are going to talk about a really good topic. We have an echo somewhere. I don't know if it's me. I don't think that's me. Anyway, do we lose someone? It looks like we lost someone.
I know it does. We did.
We lost someone.
The first guy.
Guy with the goggles.
It was Frank. He'll probably come back. So we already have people watching. Let's say hi to Seth.
Hi, Seth.
What up, Seth?
What's up, Seth?
Hey, Seth.
For those of you watching and our panel tonight, they're at the bottom that's scrolling across. What I wanted to mention to everyone is that Diva Daily Living show is a fully inclusive show, meaning that our audience watching us is part of the show. So you are encouraged to throw up a comment, throw up a question for the panel, and of course respect the group. And we will try to be all inclusive and not leave anyone out. We have Lord Nomad Punk says hi.
Hi, Blake. Hi, Blake. That's my assistant.
Okay, I was like, who is that? Okay, so real quick, I'm going to run through our panel tonight, and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to give Miss Lisa, aka Punker Princess, the opportunity to say hello and tell us who you are. Give us the 411.
Hello, everybody. I am Lisa. All right, I'm Lisa Punker Princess. I own, operate, build, whatever, 68radio.com. And I also write for Punk Glow magazine. And I help lots of artists and actors and all kinds of different people in the indie independent industry.
That's right. Real quick, Lisa, repeat again how many musicians have you played their music for the first time? Just real quick. Do you know?
For the first time, probably hundreds.
Too many to count, right?
I couldn't even count. No, hundreds.
Exactly. All right. Well, next on our panel tonight, we've got Mr. Russ Allen. Give us your 411, Mr.
Allen.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Russell Allen with Russ Explode Studios. You can catch me live on YouTube and Facebook. I do creator interviews, all kinds of stuff from different walks of life, all indie stuff. We've had authors, we've had poets, we've had artists, we've had a cooking show. We've had pretty much everything you can think of, as well as review shows. So I do book reviews on Saturday nights, and I just self-published my first novel, Xeno Nanite Titan, The Fall Before the Rise. Whoop, whoop. And I am also a member of cb4k.org.
Dre Studio says, nice hat, Russell.
What's going on, Andre?
Okay, so then we are going to go to Miss Piper.
Hey. Well, I'm Piper. I do a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything because I love telling stories and entertaining people. So I write, edit comic books, and a few other books. Nice. And I do art, design, Oh my goodness. And then I have YouTube shows. I also do gaming on Twitch as a cartoon character and that's a blast, man.
Brad.
And up until recently, you were hosting a show where you were helping launch indie creators with their campaigns and such, correct?
Yes, specifically targeted to, new ones. It's their first campaign or their first, book or whatever it happened to be in, that they're putting out there, because it's really easy to get overshadowed by people that have a few campaigns under their belt. They've got that momentum going. You'll see them everywhere, and people will generally be like, well, I don't know who's this, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna keep paying attention to the people I recognize. So and then give them tips that I had to learn, and I was also taught on the fly. And I will be bringing that back, but I'm already working on a different show because I have multiple channels I'm on. I'm part of Graded Point 5. It's a pop culture channel. We just do goofy stuff, and we do have some comics under that label that are group projects with us. And we sometimes highlight creators, generally just if they ask.
Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna let's see. We're gonna go next to Josh and Christopher. We can see you, sweetheart.
Hi, Chris.
The guy on the bottom with the goggles.
He's actually
Your turn,
from a band.
Oh, is he? Oh, nice. Good to know.
Hey everybody. Sorry, I'm not wearing a cooler hat. Didn't know that was required for tonight.
It wasn't.
But yeah, so I'm CEO of Cutthroat Comics out of Findlay, Ohio. We've been going since 2015. We've published, we're on our 10th comic book, our first one on Kickstarter. Right now it's called Turkey Sharks. We've also done 8 books, and we've published a comic for not me, so somebody else. So 11 comics total.
Nice. Now, weren't you? You also published a book that grabbed my attention.
Oh, yep.
Tell us about that real quick.
I think you're talking about Single Again, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about a book about being single. Can anyone figure out why I want him to talk about that book?
Yeah, so I went through a pretty rough divorce a handful of years ago, and once I was kind of through the process of everything, I decided to put Findlay's an awesome town. Put the experience and kind of tips and tricks on how to get back into dating and coping and what you're going to go through, how to buy a house, how to manage your finances. It's kind of all in there. It's kind of like here's what you need to know to get back into it, how to get back into today's dating game, which is much different from when we were kids, I think.
Right.
And then part of the proceeds from that one go to Open Arms, which is a nonprofit here in town, and they help people coming out of abusive relationships.
Thank you. And I'm gonna switch it over to Frank and just remind all of my panelists to make sure to private chat me a link to for you or a charitable organization that you may want us to put in comments for our people. Next, I have Mr. Salazar Art Nation, aka Frank Captain. I'm gonna say it wrong, so you say it. Go ahead.
Okay. Captain Goggles.
Captain Goggles.
All right. It's right here. All right. So I'm Frank Salazar. You can find me on Salazar Art Nation on YouTube, and I do a show also on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Central, the True Alcohol Creative Cast, which I co-host with Anna Robb. And we interview creators, comic creators, indie creators, musicians. We actually had a VTuber on once, so Piper. He was on with his animation, so maybe we can have you on someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we interview people. We like to showcase people, and then we talk about stuff. We just had a great episode where we reached. Anna reached 100 subs, so we had a goal where we were gonna eat bugs and talk about bugs and entomophagy. So that was the whole video. So it was a really fun show. We like to have people on, and On my show, sometimes I'll review comics, indie comics, or just stuff that I like. I make comics right now. I'm making mini comics, so I'm working on a couple, Captain Goggles and Masked Woman. So those are characters. My character, Captain Goggles, and Anne's character, Masked Woman. But we base them in different worlds, and they're gonna have some pretty cool adventures. So that's something that I'm working on getting. After I finish all these mini comics, these pages, I'll put them in a bigger book, and self-publish.
Okay.
And I
So
think
I'm
that's
gonna
pretty much
switch
it.
our view. I'm gonna switch our view for the panelists and get us all up on here. And so that's a lot. That's a lot. I think as a group, right, collectively, that we're doing some stuff, man. Right? Anyone?
That is cool
Whoa.
stuff.
Whoa. Okay, so let's see. You're so cute. Okay, yes, that I was reading Piper's message. Whatever. I found it. Okay.
I was too.
Yeah, I want to make sure because I'm gonna start back at the top. So just so that the people watching kind of give an idea. Tonight our topic is based on this quote by Leonard Nimoy, which is called "The Miracle Is This: The more we share, the more we have." And basically the general idea is benevolence. And let me make sure I didn't miss any comments from our audience. We did get the one about the man who said he lived in Findlay. Let me go down. He said something.
I was going to say, we're almost neighbors if you count like 3 hours being neighbors.
Right? He said, y'all be busy. That's right. That's right. And then Christopher says, Lisa needs a hat. I know. Lisa, you're the only one without headgear. She's so...
I know, right?
I know.
I don't have anything near...
But that makes her the counterculture rebel here.
Well,
Hey, I know.
I mentioned this earlier. I wore the t-shirt for Black Hesher to pay homage to a local rap artist who was here in San Diego, who absolutely fell in the category of the people you guys all just the panel that we just got to introduce each other. Everyone on this panel does something. Tons of something for other human beings. Van, aka Black Hesher, was definitely one of them. There's a lot of artists who can credit him, rightly so, with their careers. It's crazy. I'm like looking. Get this, you guys. This is your host. I'm looking for your names in comments for the links you sent me in private chat, but it's me who actually threw them in comments. I'm just saying. Okay, so this is a Facebook link that's in comments for those watching. This is for an art auction that Mr. Allen has going right now for comic books for kids. That was one of the first links I shared, and of course, now that I know I'm looking for my name, I think I should be able to get to these. This is the link tree to find Salazar, who works with giving comics to kids. It's mostly, I think, through his church, right, Frank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and then
this one right here.
Okay. And I want to say my next one's going to probably be Russ's, or not Russ's, Josh's. Yes, Cutthroat Comics. Here's a link for Russ. And this is the link to the book you were talking about, right, Russ? Or is this for your website?
That's mine.
That's
okay.
Josh's.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, it's Josh's.
Yeah, that's
why am I saying Russ and Josh? Like, why am I mixing your guys' names up? They're not even alike. And then I do have, I have it on my there we go. And then here hit enter, Dory. Okay, and here we have Piper's. Okay. I am super excited and I'm super happy that you're all here, because one of the things about this topic, the immediate thing that comes to mind when I think about giving to others is the word benevolence. And for me, there was a time when I didn't know what that meant. I know what it means now, in addition to the fact that, of course, I'm a little bit of a dictionary junkie. I love dictionaries. I love looking words up. So benevolence. The meaning, according aka Webster, means disposition to do good, an act of kindness, a generous gift. So I'm going to start with Frank, since he's at the top over there, from left to right. And I'm going to ask, give us a quick, maybe 30-second thing on what you get out of this definition for this word. What does that do for you? Or say to you?
Benevolence, it's I see it more as an attitude of serving. So I like to be able to help others, give to others, and just the act of doing it. That's what I get out of it. I mean, I feel good doing it, but I also feel accomplished that I'm able to help people. But I'm not really expecting anything in return.
Right.
But it's just something I like to do, like this mini comic. It's a faith-based little mini comic, and I'm gonna be giving out over 100 copies or more. I think in 2 weeks on a local church event that we have. So I'm cutting and folding a bunch of these and doing it because I want to do it, not because I have to or I'm getting money in return. It's just something that I just want to do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play a little game for some of these called He Said, She Said. So Piper, what does this definition bring to you or bring to mind for you?
I always felt like it went hand in hand with selflessness, at least to an extent. I think to be benevolent, definitely means it's just in your nature. You don't stop and think about pros and cons. You just do because it's in your nature to do, to do good, to be kind or do acts of kindness or to gift when you can. I also think that people, come on, Kitty, please cut me a break. Okay.
It's ironic, selflessness, and it's in the list of 10 points for today. So when any of you guys are going to say something I might have already queued, I'm going to probably throw it up there. So continue. Was there more or
awesome?
No, I'm gonna let it flow the way it is because I don't have all of the definition words. Honestly,
Anna says, "Yo, I just got here, and hey guys,
Yay.
Hey Frank." All right, Mr. Allen, you tell us then. Going back to benevolence, give us your thoughts.
Benevolence to me is always give back more than what you receive. I mean, that's one of my big things. I love giving back more than I receive. When I find something good that somebody does for me, I want to give that back tenfold. Like comic books for kids. I have a critical illness child who has had 2 open heart surgeries, one at birth, one at 2.5 years old. And so, seeing the stuff that the hospitals give to the children and finding out that there's an organization out there that donates stuff to hospitals, I wanted to be a bigger part of that and help make it bigger.
I love that. I'm just, most of what everybody said is blowing me away. And I'm probably going to stop moving your tiles around, but I'm doing it for fun. I'm sorry.
It's
Lisa!
What's up?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this, but anyway, go ahead.
Do what you want. It's your show.
Oh, no, benevolence. What is this definition here say to you, speak to you? What does it invoke from you when we think about benevolence?
To me, it just basically says that you don't think about it, you just do it. It's not even a thought. It's just automatic. Like, when a band asks me to play them, I don't think about it. Oh, am I going to play this band? It's like, of course I'm going to play your music. Give me it now, It's like not even a thought. When somebody asks me for an interview, it's like, okay. I mean, I don't expect anything in return other than for them to help me help them. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I
do
can't
know
help you unless you also are helping yourself. And that's basically what it is to me. Just do it. Just get out there and do it. And you don't think about it. It's like Piper said. It's in you, and it just happens.
Right. Okay. And Josh?
Right.
Me last, huh?
I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, a couple people touched on not getting anything in return, and I think that's an important part of it. Even though you do get the good feeling in return, but that's kind of a minuscule thing. A handful of years ago, I did like this pretty adorable good deed, and I actually didn't tell anybody about it for a couple of years. Like, I was married at the time, didn't even tell my wife or anybody. Where like these ducks were like about to get run over, and I like stopped traffic and like got the little baby ducks off the thing. Yeah, I did eventually like. Tell people
I
about
know
it.
all the girls. You know, it's like we're all running. Like, oh, you babies.
It was the sweetest thing. But
Awesome.
you know, I kept it to myself for a number of years because I was like, I'm keeping this one for me. And on top of that, as I've gotten older in life, and as I've become successful in my my real career and starting to be successful with this one as well, I feel that it's important that if you have the ability to help in any way, then you should. You kind of have that responsibility to help those around you. Like I mentioned, that the part of the proceeds of that book go to Open Arms, and I also do like Christmas time toys for them. You know,
Remind
and
me what Open Arms is real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
they help. They provide like services and stuff for people coming out of abusive relationships.
That's right. I knew, but
And it's guys, girls. I mean, it's not just for like women.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, for me, every year I'm going to try to do more. So, you know, if I get a raise at work, that means I need to do a little more for that. And so on and so on. I think the better you are off in your own life, the more you should be helping. And obviously there are, you know, you could go like serve at a soup kitchen or whatever that, you know, I live in Findlay, and I really like this organization in particular because I've known friends that have gone through it and they've helped them. And I have a couple of my friends from high school work there too. So,
right.
But yeah, just like what you're saying, you help where you can, even if it's holding the door for, you know, an old lady. Like, that's a nothing thing to do.
So I'm going to throw up. Don't worry, for those of you watching, I've got your back. I know, I see your comments. We're going to throw them up in just a second. Did you notice how such a simple definition, okay? This is the simplest little definition that came out of Google, but yet it is not simple. I mean, all of you touched on very similar points, but all of you had something very distinctly unique to say about it. I don't know if you guys. The thing that I, for myself, know has already been said. Almost everything I could possibly say on this has already been said. But I do know for me that I would like to sum it up by saying I hope to put out more positive than take. I would rather give than take. And there's a saying, I can't take credit for the quote, that givers, or how does that go? Like, takers may have more or something, but givers sleep better. And I'm paraphrasing. And so Seth says, benevolence is the opposite of virtue signaling. Virtue signaling is all about looking good. Benevolence doesn't care about being known. And we do have more comments for the audience. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about you. But I saw Seth's comment, and I want to post this up here because this is in our panel script for tonight of what we're going to talk about. Recognition. The definition of recognition is the identification of someone or something or a person from previous encounters. So that's pretty, you know, like we meet someone, we recognize them when we see them again. And then there's the other part of it, which is knowledge, acknowledgement of something's existence, validity, or legality. And so going back to what I liked about Seth's comment here is he's talking about benevolence is not caring about that.
I kind of tried to put that in mind where you don't even pause to weigh anything. You just do because it comes natural. I kind of had that in mind a little bit. I think everybody did, though.
There's
not putting.
I think I've read a couple articles where, and I agree with, you know, you shouldn't be posting on Facebook Live while you're doing it and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I've read articles where they say that when, you know, me or you see somebody doing a good deed, then it actually inspires us to do that. So really, it's kind of all about the intent of the person. You know, why are they posting this and all that? So it's good to be like, hey, you know, I donated to this charity. You know, you guys should too. You know, so
don't forget about that word intention. So Anna says benevolence keeps society, family, and humanity functioning. Chris said, "Oh, sure, play the duck card." Hey, you know, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, guys or girls, it's perfectly okay to be chivalrous, all right? I don't care what modern day culture wants to program your brain. Be chivalrous if that's what you're going to do, because some of us love it. Anna also said, rad cat ear headset, Piper.
Oh, thank you. I love this thing. It's comfy, but it's very touchy too.
So cute.
I apologize, Anna, for not knowing exactly what was being said when you put that up there. My bad.
Anna is my co-host.
No, I know who she is. I just don't know what she's totally agreeing to it, but I'm sure whatever she's totally agreeing to.
I was telling Piper and her.
Okay. So going back to what was just said about
I was letting everyone else know that.
No, that's okay. So I had a feeling. Awesome. I think I might have suspected that what we've talked about so far would lead us into the next point in our topic, which is, this is a quote. It says, "One good deed done secretly is better than 1,000 that are recognized." And then it goes into saying what matters most, and this Josh hit on this, is our intention, not the number of good deeds. I think it goes without saying that most of the people on this panel don't have this, and you know. But I'm going to start with you, Frank. Can you think of a time wanting to be recognized, or wanting something out of what you were doing, or wanting something for yourself? Have you ever had that experience where you realized you were doing it for yourself and you had to pull back from what you were doing?
Yeah, actually not that long ago. I think I'm trying to remember what it was that I think it was like tied with wanting to promote more people, but because I was getting accolades, you know, I was like, oh, good job. And I identified that as well, that's the wrong reason to be doing it. I just want to do it. I'm going to do it because I like doing it. And also with the comics, making sure that I'm giving them to kids or to people because I want to do it, not because they're going to come and tell me what a great artist I am. Mm-hmm. So it's something I have to catch. I try not to let it like become that, like what I guess it would be called in my church. You call it serving the blessing. So like, oh, you good stuff is happening, so you're doing that, but you're doing it with the wrong intention. So right. It's something I always try to recognize, like. And other things too. I'm sure there's other times that I've done that, but I've had to pull back. I've had to kind of analyze and think, okay, why am I doing this, and then just get back on track.
Okay, so Lisa, do you have something you're willing to share with us where you recognize that your intentions were maybe not in the right place, or you pulled back, righted yourself?
Actually, I just always just do it. When I decide I want to do something, I usually get it done.
What about you, Russ?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest. I mean, I usually do stuff just to help other people out. I don't really find myself trying to do things to help myself. You know, I try to act selflessly with everything, and then I do my stuff on my time.
Okay. Piper?
The only time I could think that my intention would be more than just instinctively doing something is if I'm doing something out of a feeling of I owe it to whoever I'm helping. I feel like that's the only time I can come up with where it's not I'm just doing it to do it. That there might be another motivation. That other motivation would be the voice in the back of the head going, "They did this nice thing for you, so you owe it to them to do this back or do this other thing." But generally, there's still the same feeling of relief or accomplishment because, you know, even if you're doing it because you feel like you owe it to them and you're going out of your way or whatever because you feel like you owe it to them, at the end of the day, then you're going, awesome. They did it for me when they were able to, and I did it for them when I was able to. And it still, you know, keeps rolling and keeps going. So
that's a good point. I mean, it ultimately the result is a good result, you know, especially in the circumstance of what you're describing. But I can see how what you just described could also get tripped up depending on what it is the person's expecting from you.
It is a little bit different if you're you're still just doing it because you owe them, and you'll be like, I've got you, I owe you one, and I'm able to do this, versus them coming to you going, I did this thing for you, you owe me, do this for me. There is kind of, it is a different situation and might be a different feeling coming off because you didn't do it on your terms at that point, out of the kindness of your heart. You did it because they told you to. Because they were not, it's a little bit different. I still feel like at the end of the day, there would at least be a feeling of relief either way.
Right. And Josh?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Josh is next on this, and then we'll switch comments.
I mean, I agree with pretty much what everybody said for the most part. I would say that when it comes to just doing a good deed, there's no reciprocation needed. However, you know, I would say just like what I'm doing right now, you know, we're sitting on this podcast. I'm hoping people see my name and recognize the brand and all that. So there is a little bit of selfishness, but at the same time,
let's get everyone's names on there. No, seriously, I know I'm in. This is the second time Josh has said something, and no offense to any of you, anyone else, but like, I like, haha. Exactly. I mean, 100% agree. But we want people to know how to find us, right? Based on everything all we're doing. The endeavors that we're doing, it's in our best interest to self-promote or help promote others, right? Okay, go ahead.
I was going to follow up kind of with what Piper was kind of getting at a little bit is I try to, in my life, as best I can, lead by example. And by no means am I perfect in any way. I have made every mistake, you know, aside from shooting heroin in my veins. But, you know, like even like this, you know, I was like, as soon as you said share it, I shared it. Absolutely no problem. And it's like, I get it in my head, like I'm going to show you guys this is how we do the business of helping each other out and all that. So
exactly.
I'm sure you guys get it. You guys understand. I'm just kind of always like, I'm going to be the first one to like do what needs to be done to get this thing to be successful or get more views or whatever, whether it helps or not, you know, I'm doing my part. So, you know, it's kind of me overthinking the helping part, I guess.
And I'm going to share this because, you know, I'm next, and then I'm going to switch to our panel in the audience because they're part of our panel. You know, one of the things I was talking with someone today who is actually here, and, you know, I was basically talking about how in the case of when we work with other people, not industry, whatever that industry is,
what happened?
Huh? Oh,
is it you? Someone's mic is getting messed up.
Oh, that might be me because I muted it from the mic and to talk to somebody and then I muted it.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's what
Way to go, Piper.
Be real general. The discussion, Lisa and I had a discussion today about the difference between this was not what we were talking about, but it applies to buying from an artist because of the work or the talent or the creation, or buying from an artist because of the artist, the personality of the artist. And I was telling her that I 100% will own the fact that I have bought from someone solely based on who they are as a person, with no thought, no consideration,
lots of times,
no real like just solely based on their personality. I bought what they had to sell, like that, without question. Now, there's other people that I it depends. I mean, I'm not going to say that's how it is always. That's not an exclusive statement. But I do know that for me plays into, no offense, plays into giving back or doing for someone. Because I'm probably not going to be overly benevolent and overly expressive for someone who is an asshole.
Yeah.
Seth says, having been in need, a person receiving benevolence is usually pretty embarrassed about being in a position of need and is likely frustrated about it. I am definitely I'm going to make these a little smaller so we can see everyone. I am definitely one of those people that has a really, really, really extreme, difficult time of asking for help.
Yeah.
I am way better at accepting help than asking for help. If, if someone picks up on a need, or if I somehow let it slip, like I told Lisa today that I might not have a ticket for tomorrow's show that we're going to. And this woman was like on it. She's like, okay, we're going to and we're going to break in and we're going to break back. I mean, like, she's all over it. Meanwhile, it was hysterical, but meanwhile, one of the performers, a local rap god of all, Katie LaDubs, had my ticket. She has my ticket. She's got me. She's all, I got you, girl. So there was no concern, but
yay, Katie, we love you.
Love Katie. But that is why it just cracks me up. Because going real quick, and I'm going to open this to just open discussion, and I'm going to try to not call on people. I'm going to just go let you guys fly. Just be respectful, not to try that, the talking over thing. You guys are adults. We have 4 more comments, and then we're going to do a free discussion. Crimson Owl says, "What's up?" Hello, Mr. Crimson Owl Comics. Seth also says, "So if you give for attention, that very spotlight may make things worse for the recipient." Russ is back.
Yeah, our Wi-Fi still hasn't recovered. They've been working on the lines for all week, and so I just finally turned my Wi-Fi off. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm used to you leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
Ever since we've had these storms, it's been crazy.
Anna says, yeah, better to be kind at all times, as well as quietly, especially if it may make others uncomfortable. I think that is twice, and we all kind of have sort of touched on this. Part of keeping a benevolent service secret that we may have done for someone is respecting that person's privacy that we may have just given something to. They may not want the world to know what we just did. Better to let someone else lift you up and praise you than to show off. And Christopher says, to state the obvious, making others feel good is a big factor in all of our own sense of joy. If bringing joy to others for our own selfish joy is somewhat a fault, may we all be that selfish. I love that. I might have to save that comment for later and post it for later. But
I love him. He's awesome.
That's well said. That's very well said. Yeah, it's very well put, because it goes back to what Josh was saying about how we want. Yes, okay, we want to. I definitely want to give selflessly without expectation. But if I don't say who I am, if I don't say my name like I have it on there, how are you going to know how to get a hold of Diva Dory? If you're a woman or a man, because I've had I at this point, I would love to tell you this was not true, but I have had just as many men find out what I do as Diva Dory, working with survivors of sexual trauma. I've had just as many men reach out to me as women. And men are less likely to report. Men are less likely to talk about it. men are less likely to admit it happened. And my first thing now going forward, I try not to say too much because I don't want to trigger anyone who hasn't done any healing soul work yet, because that's my responsibility, is to not bring up trauma for people. But I do need to tell people who I am and why I'm Diva Dory, what that's even about, because how would they know otherwise if they can call me? So now we went through all of our comments from our audience, and I'm going to go back to our banners real quick, and I'm going to just throw this up here. Does anyone have anything they want to share before I throw up the next part in the topic outline I have?
It depends on what the next topic is, because I do have a lot to say on this, especially off of the comments in the chat.
Okay.
Because a couple of things we were saying, especially about the if you're giving for attention, it's not exactly selfless. Maybe still benevolent, not exactly selfless. Was one opinion, but also there's the fact, and even when it comes to getting your name out. You were mentioning, showing or telling people about the good deeds you've done, inspiring others. In doing that, like Seth said, and I've been raised in the same position. I'm still there. In doing that, you inspiring others, but you've put at least somebody and their problems on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do is every time I've been in a situation where somebody has done a good deed to me, whatever it is, go through it, and then I sing the praises of whoever it was,
right?
And I will tell people about them, like whether it's even when it's been like a stranger in a line at a drive-thru, right? Paying for my order because I happen to be the car behind them. They have no idea that like helps me hardcore, decide between eating today and gas or something. Like, I will take to wherever. And even if it's a stranger, I will say, this happened to me. This is so awesome. So even if I can't direct people to a person, I hope that inspires other people to see the results of those actions and want to do it every once in a while themselves, because they've seen the results of doing that. And if it's a specific person or organization, let the people you've helped get your name all over the place. Now, granted, yes, promote yourself hardcore. But there are people that kind of do it like on YouTube. They'll record themselves doing good deeds for content. Mm-hmm. And it's all for content. And yeah, you're getting your name out there as somebody that does good deeds, but there's been so many times where I've seen clips of it and I felt so sorry for the person that was getting help, because they were like crying, emotional, and this person is just like, yeah, check it out, guys. Isn't it sweet? I'm awesome. Yeah. Don't do that. There's a balance, but when somebody does something nice for you, even if you don't want to give the exact details, even if whatever it is a little too personal, if you can at least, anytime it's happened, just go out there and shout from the rooftops that somebody reached out and did something without anything in return. That, I think, right there gives them inadvertently a way to, like I said, see the end result of the kindness, the benevolence, the help, whatever. Even if it's not the person they helped, they will see, oh, it does something. Doing this isn't taken for granted. That was a big thing based on the chat that I really, really wanted to talk about. Sorry.
No, I love what you shared, because one of the things I have tried, or I will try to do when someone's done something for me, I am 100%. Can I go to the rooftops and shout to the world what you just did? Can I? And if they give me permission, if they're okay with me telling everyone what they did, I'm not going to care about what all this spirituality benevolence says about secret.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not gonna like that. I will practice that. I will try to practice that. Am I ever going to allow it to tell me to keep my mouth shut? Just cause why? Because I think that if they are willing to say, yeah, go tell people what I did, I'll say their name, sure.
I've had a couple of times, like people help me and flat out say, don't tell anybody that I'm the one that helped you. Don't tell anybody. And I respect that too, because like maybe they rather feel that selfless. Even they don't want recognition because that changes things.
Right. Anna says, yeah, on that note, hearing about positive things and people doing good to others can sometimes be an encouragement. So has any of you others on the panel ever had a time where someone you either helped or they helped you, flat out made a point to say, don't tell anyone? For what, or the opposite, please, has that ever happened, what she's describing?
Not specifically. I would say that maybe sometimes if other people find out that somebody helped you, then other people will get a hold of them to help them too, and then you get a whole landslide of having to, whether it's monetarily or what.
They feel obligated is what I think they're worried about.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that I know, like that, and I'm going to share this, and I don't think Russ would mind, is that part of one of the things I do is I will blast you all. I think all of you who are here know this about me. Russ or Josh and I just met, so maybe not, but actually maybe, because even on his first podcast he's ever on with someone, I'm sitting here going, who is this guy? Where's his link? And I'm like, before you know it, it's on every Facebook page I have, everything, every Twitter I have, and I don't even have a very big following. Like my network isn't even close to some other people's following, but it is something. And yeah, I was on that because I will. And they don't even have to ask me. And that's how Frank and I met. I was actually being interviewed as a guest in a stream. I think that's how I met Frank. No, I think Frank and I were in chat together at the same time. That's what it was. But anyway, this guy was.
We're in a chat.
Yeah, he was all over modding the fuck out of that stream, giving everyone's this and everyone's YouTube and everyone's links. And here's the link tree. And there's a couple of guys that do that. Frog G does that. Like, these guys are like on it, man. They see you're in there and you got something new going on. Click, share, click. Like, it's like boom. Crimson Owl says, with his video, it reminds me of a quote. I feel that there is nothing more truly artistic than to love people. Vincent van Gogh. You know what I love about that, Crimson? And I kept this in here. I kept this in my Diva scroll. This was from one of my other Diva talks where we talked about the artistic, the art expression of self-expression in art. And art has long been, whether it was officially called art therapy or not, art has been therapeutic for ancients, like way back. Art and mental health are connected, and they can have a positive connection. Artistic activities such as sculpting, painting, drawing, known to lower stress levels and promote mental calmness. So while I'm on this broadcast and I've got a panel of genius creators, I've got artists of all types right here, all six of us, right? I am absolutely a survivor, and I absolutely work with mental issues that I have to treat every single day. Me choosing life, as my Diva thing says in the video you guys watched. If it weren't for the fact that my children are on this side of the dirt, I am the first person that will humbly admit to you I probably would not be here right now. I have struggled with mental issues or mental health and suicidal ideations and the work that Josh was describing. I am a survivor. And when I say survive, you name it, I've had it happen to me. Whether it was a partner, the stuff happened as a kid, all these things, right? This real world is too fucking real. It's just too fucking real. Why do I write? Why do I paint? Why do I create? Why do I do art? Because it gets me out of this shit. And so the last thing, and I'm only speaking for myself right now, everyone. The last thing I need as an artist doing art to keep this in order is some other creator, some other artist, creator person acting like a fuckhead dick to me and making me feel less than, making me feel like this or that. That's the last fucking thing I want to bring to this community or industry that we're in.
Yeah.
If what I just said makes sense. And with that, I'm going to open it to free all. You guys be kind and try not to talk over each other. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Never me. No.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm gonna put us on this view, and I'm gonna let Frank go, and I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and then we're gonna switch it out. I'm gonna time you. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, that's fine. I want to say what you're saying. I was relaying to a lot, and I know Anna's in the chat, so she knows some of the stuff I've gone through. I've also had to deal with mental health. I've had suicidal ideations. I've had a thing recently where, and it goes back to helping people. I don't know if any of you have ever gone through this, where you've helped people, and then some people either take it for granted or they're I don't know, like they turn it against you. So sometimes I feel like I'm helping you, but you're treating me like this, or you're not. I'm trying to put out, hey, I need some help, and they're not coming to me. So I will get a little depressed, and then I kind of it's fine. Like I can deal with this, but where it would happen, where it would start getting to me. And so I would need someone to talk to, and Anna has been there for me. So she's one of my closest friends. So I want to say thank you to her if I haven't said thank you already. And to anyone, if I have offended you, I apologize. I don't mean to. And I just want to put good out there. And thank you, Dory, for having me on here. It's been a great panel. And that's all I got.
Okay. Who wants to go next? And real quick, Anna did say benevolence is one of the things that gives society value. If people weren't kind to one another at all, what would be the point of relationships or society? And she also says people need each other and the world needs genuine love. So who would like to go next? Who wants to be in the spotlight next? And then Crimson Owl says, we love you, Frank. Nobody else is hopping to go next. I'm gonna throw you in.
Well, I feel like I talked too
Sorry,
much
I said
on
I
the
would go
last
next,
topics.
but my mic was muted.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Was that you, Russ? Okay, Piper and then Russ.
I was gonna go like last or something because I felt like I talked too much on the last thing.
Okay, hey girl, this is a safe spot. This is
You didn't talk too much.
You're in the safest spot you can be in to talk and say what you need to say.
So, first off, I want to say this. Never tell somebody not to do something that they want to do. So that's one of the biggest things as my show is about, is inspirations, is to inspire people to do what they've always wanted to do or what they felt like they should do with their life. When I was a kid, I wanted to write books, and everybody said, oh, no, don't do that. You're never going to make a living. You're never going to be able to, have a house and a family and take care of them doing that. And so I went out and got a job, and it took thinking that I was dying of cancer last year, and then, everything happening, that I said, you know what, this is the biggest thing I regret, not publishing this book, to finally go out there and publish the book. and then spawned the podcast of being that inspiration, being that beacon of light, telling people that it's never too late to do what you want to do, and to inspire them through my story of, hey, this is the shit that I went through last year. You know, I found out that I possibly had cancer, and they found a mass on my spine, and, you know, the COVID happened and I wasn't able to get back to the doctor. So I didn't know what was going to happen last year. But I kept cranking on with the podcast because I wanted the story to get out there. I wanted people to stop making excuses to get off their ass and do what they wanted to do and go out there and do it. You know, it wasn't because I wanted, you know, the spotlight for it. I just wanted other people not to have regrets. And I think that's a great message. And that's one of the things I was going to touch on earlier was, you know, talking about somebody doing something for you that day could be an inspiration for someone else to go out there and do something for someone because they see the impact that it made in your life that day. And, you know, that's kind of where CB4 came in with me. You know, CB4K came in with me because somebody donated the toys that they gave to my son after an open heart surgery. It gave him 15 minutes to stop thinking about the fact that he was in pain. He was inconsolable. That gave us 15 minutes as parents to sit back and be there for each other. That $5 toy that somebody went out and bought and graciously gave to the hospital made that much of an impact. What can I do with this? And so, you know, it's all about inspiring others and telling people these stories to make them think about the small gestures, how big of an impact that can be in somebody's day.
I love that. I was trying to find now I know your Facebook, for those of you watching, I don't know, Lisa, Josh, did one of you say who's going to go next before I ask? Or no?
I just said I was going last.
Let's go boy, girl then. So real quick before Lisa starts, everyone, Anna did say we all have struggles in life. It's super important to respect and be kind to one another. So often people are going through stuff we don't even know about. So
absolutely.
True. And for those of you watching, because we do have quite a bit of an audience right now, please, we're wrapping up. We're getting close to wrapping up. So throw up questions. If you have any questions for the panel, we want to answer some before we leave. And links to everyone who's on our panel, it should be in comments. And if it's not, I will make sure that it gets there. I'm going to try to do my best. And with that, I'll give the floor to Lisa for her.
Well, I just want to say, don't ever let anybody tell you can't do something. Because, like, Dory, I think you were saying this on one of your interview with, I think, Russ, right? That anybody could be an artist. That you don't have to be somebody special. Anybody could build a radio station. You know, people are telling me that I couldn't do this and I was going to fail after a year and I won't be around over a year. And we're going on 10 years. So don't ever let anybody tell you that it's not possible, because if you want to do something, it's possible. And just fight for what you want, you know, just go for it. Don't let anything stop you.
I threw it down at the bottom. What she's referring to, I was sharing with Russ this quote. It's actually in a Van Bates song. It's that I got it from him.
Yes. I love it.
It's in. This is a rap guy, you guys. This was how humble this man was. In his song, it says, "Anyone can rap. You are no longer special." You know, and he was as special as they get. I'm gonna just say, for a fact, as special as they get. And for him to be that humble to say that, it is what I was saying to Russ that day. Anyone can be a painter. Anyone can write. It may take some practice, and you may have to get good at it. But yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I actually took some notes doing my homework.
We got a note taker. I love it.
To touch on what Russell said and Lisa, there's a quote that I say sometimes, and it sounds negative, but it's actually a very positive quote, or at least it's meant to be. And I often say, you can't because you won't. And the flip side of that is you can if you will. So the only thing stopping anybody from creating and being successful is themselves. You have to get up and put in the work and do it yourself. That was kind of one thing I jotted down there. Another thing, along with what Russell was saying, is in my real job, I'm a biomedical engineer, so I work on medical equipment, and I've spent some time in children's cancer wards and NICUs and stuff like that, and it's definitely life-changing to see that. I mean, it's heart-wrenching. You know, I've seen premature baby. There was a premature baby. I mean, just a tiny little thing. I never caught if it was a boy or girl, and I would be in the NICU once or twice a week for like a month or so, and nobody ever came to see that baby. It was in there by itself in the iron lung thingy or whatever it was, and it was just it really puts your life into perspective. And I think if you think about those kinds of things, then you can look at all the good things that you have in your life. I think about that all the time, and how fortunate I am, you know, to have my son who's healthy and you know, a pretty nice house to live in, and people that buy my comics and books, you know, pretty regularly. So try to always think that, you know, you do have blessings in your life. I mean, everybody does. You just have to find them. Sometimes they're small, but you have to lean on those in the harder times. And then to kind of touch on, I think, what Dory said, I think you started off talking about, mental health and all that, and Frank did as well. So I'm not trying to talk too long, but so my first novel I wrote, Stuffed Squirrels and Porcelain Angels, is a dark comedy about suicide. It follows a guy who's having these thoughts and all these mental troubles. I mean, and it's framed in a funny way. There's lots of jokes and stuff. But the first couple of years when I was doing this, that was like one of the main things on my table. I didn't have that much, and people would open up about their issues. I mean, a lot. I've heard hundreds of stories. And then also, being that I've been single for like 5 years, you know, you're on the dating apps and you talk to girls about this and that. I mean, it seems like pretty much everybody's got something going on that they struggle with. So anybody that's listening and you're scared to talk to anybody, like, you're not alone. Like, legitimately, most people have something going on that they need to vent or need help with. So don't feel like that at all. Definitely go talk to somebody, you know, whether it's, you know, a doctor or your mom or dad or brother, sister, friend, and, you know, get it out, get it spoken, because that helps. Venting helps a lot, I think.
And if your circle isn't there to help you, you're not in the right circle. Because I can tell you, the comic book community that I've met, you know, last year was a dark time for me, and they all rooted for me. They all circled around me, and that's a lot of what helped lift me out of it. So
I had Anna. Where do we leave off? We all have struggles in life. Yep. Okay. Anna said she kind of wants to rap. We're gonna hook that up. I got rappers, girl. I came with rappers. No, I'm just kidding. I got you, boo. And then Christopher says, I said something intelligent in an interview once. I love that. I'm sorry. That made me laugh because I can relate to that statement so much. I said in reference to music, you have to get by the people who want to judge you to get to the people who want to listen to you. Lots of judges out there. Lisa is a listener of music and a lover of music. I feel you all have that vibe in your own fields. And yes, sir, Christopher, you are dead on correct, because the people invited to be here today,
love you, Chris.
They were told that they sparked something in me that wanted me to get them here with us. And Seth says, a shout out to a former employer that helped people out on the regular and quietly. Leach's Meats and Sweets in Baberton, Ohio helped us out a lot. That's right. Give them a big old shout out.
I go to that one sometimes for work, for my real job.
Nice smiley face. And in private chat, Frank says he's back. I don't know where. I know Frank said he went somewhere. I did throw this in private. He says, make comics, not excuses. And go, and go, you know, while you guys were talking and chatting, I was trying to find it and I was having trouble. So I think I might have finally found it. I think this is it. Let me hit download real quick, and hopefully it's it. So I don't know if I had mentioned to Frank to see if Anna wanted to come in. I don't know if she said no, but Seth said, I only know what they do for others from working there. No non-employees even have a clue. Yeah. So I was going to sum up. So let me see if this download worked, because if it did, that would be super rad. And if I picked the right one, that would be even better. Let me hit play on. I didn't prep this because it didn't. Waking up. Yeah, that's not it. But that's okay. So somewhere I have it, and I'll find it. And that's what I had queued for tonight's show, everyone. And I went through all the comments, and so unless there's someone out there with another comment, I think what I want to do now is give you guys one more opportunity to talk about the charitable organization in particular, or something in particular that is along with this topic that you want to kind of highlight and throw out there. So this is the, I guess sort of the promotion elevator pitch part of, let's talk about the charity. Let's put the word out. Where do we need to go and give our support? You guys do that while I try to find this video.
I guess am I first? I'm the big
and you're first because you know what, sweetheart, you were the first one on the. Like, I'm not even going to try to fight with that right now. I'm like.
So I'm starting a new charity, and it's something I've been worried about for years. And if everybody could just donate a bunch of money, that'd be great. I haven't seen a dinosaur my entire life, and I really want to see a dinosaur. So if somebody could give me some money to go find the dinosaurs, that would be great. Kidding. No, yeah, the main charity that I was brought on here to talk about was Open Arms out of Findlay, Ohio. They help people coming out of abusive relationships. And you can pick up my book, Single Again, off cutthroatcomics.com, and part of the proceeds of that go to that charity. Also, if you want to help a struggling indie creator, it's not really a charity or nonprofit, but we do have Turkey Sharks #1 on Kickstarter right now. It's 123% funded, working on our second stretch goal. And we'll leave it at that.
All right. So my charity isn't going to be the one that I told you about, Dory. I changed my mind. So I don't have a particular charity that I want to promote here. I want you all to go out. I want you to listen to a unknown band, or an unknown artist that you've never heard before. And go and listen to their music, share their music, support them. I want you all to support your local music scenes. I want you to support local news, and that's pretty much it. Just support the scene. The whole indie scene, not even the actors and the movies, and just support DIY. That's my thing.
Well, and you just brought up, I put it on the screen because you just said something that made me think about this. Buy your music. If you're going to buy any music, I mean, we all kind of, as creators and artists, we kind of know where to go. We know to go to Indiegogo. We know to go to Kickstarters. But if you're out there in the musical world and you want a new musical artist to follow or to support, buy their music on Bandcamp, even if it's published on iTunes and stuff, because the artists get way more of a cut of the money from Bandcamp than they do anybody else. Even me, my Magic Man album is on Bandcamp, and it's free because it's a complimentary album to honor Black Hesher and to honor Van Baked. But you can still make a donation if you want. So that I love what Lisa just said, because I know I'm totally just jacking the spotlight here for a second, but the whole thing that why I know Russ, why I know Josh, why I know Salazar, Frank, why I know Piper, is because meeting Van and buying Van's music led me to buying Katie's music, led me to buying Bloodstone the Street Preacher's music, led me to buying Jay Andrews' music, then I sat there one day and I thought, I'm a writer, I'm a poet. Why am I not buying from writers, from authors I fucking know? Why am I wasting or spending $1 on, no offense, Mr. King, I love Stephen King, he's my favorite writer, but why would I ever spend another $1 on a Stephen King book when I can buy one of Russ's or I can buy a Josh's? So my money today, all of it, goes to indie creators. It has gone, any spared money I've had come up in the last whatever has gone to an indie creator. So next I'm going to give the floor to Frank.
All right. My charity is the Choose to Change Foundation, choosechangefoundation.com. They help men, also women, but they encourage men to take responsibility for their family and for their faults, and to be the fathers and leaders that God has called them to. And they've helped me out a lot, and I'm here because of them. And because someone else was there for the founder, and so on and so forth. So that's the charity I recommend. And if you just want to support me as an indie creator, comic creator, if you want to get some mini comics, you can just DM me. I'll send you some. Even if you don't have the money, I'll just send you some because I want to do it. But you can check out the Traco Creative Cast link tree. There is a store on there, a Teespring store. So if you want to buy something, I share that with Anna, so she gets some of that, and I get some of that. So you're supporting two creators.
Yay. Thank you. And Piper, I feel like I left you out of the former round table.
I wanted to go last and I got skipped.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to go have a human break, and Piper's got the floor, everyone. So just enjoy for like 5 minutes. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Well, man, I just figured I wasn't going to say all that other stuff that I was going to say. I also don't have a very specific charity, because I think they're all doing good work in general. I've benefited from a couple back in the day, this and that. So I can't really narrow it down to one. I can say, don't forget your animal charities. There was a good chunk of my life where I had just personally decided that I had given up on people. That people, society, whatever. Like, it was all bad. Even the good ones were bad. There was ulterior motives. I didn't trust. I've had some problems. I've been through some shit. So don't forget your animal charities, because that's became part of my therapy. Not just donating to animal charities, but volunteering at animal shelters and this and that kind of became part of my therapy, and kind of brought me back in to see, all right, people aren't just like crap for being people, it brought me around that way. So did art, which was part of the other topic, but I'm going to try to thread it into this in the fact that when it comes to art therapy, freaking sometimes the indie work you see out there, novels, art, music, definitely, all sorts of stuff. At least for those indie creators who have the freedom to do what they want, versus working for a company to do what the company wants, there's a good chance you're buying a piece of, you're really buying a piece of them. You're buying a piece of their story that's in the background of a completely different story made for your escapism. I know the reason that, I'm in here in comics, and I love writing, and I love drawing, and I love singing even. All of that was...
Singing right now.
Right. What? Shit. I started reading the chat. All of that was therapeutic to do, but it was also a way to get my my own get my thoughts out there in a weird way to other people that might be able to relate. And Robin Williams, hilarious dude but depressed. I related hardcore to that because I do feel like the people, especially ones that are able to dunk on themselves, when when they can make fun of their own situations and laugh about their own situations, you have somebody that is their self-defense against those situations. You have somebody that wants to help other people with the same situations by making light of, that's why, besides sharing art or stories and escapism that helped me so much, trying to make it for other people, I just, with my shows and stuff, I just like entertaining people and especially making people laugh. Like, even if they're laughing at me, I don't mind being a clown. If it's brightening somebody else's day, because that means it brightens mine too. So yeah, outside of that, I would just say keep an eye on my website where you can see my party and clowning. You figure out where all that is. This weekend I'm finishing it up actually.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head on one of those. Like, 100% for those of you watching, listening, if you catch me writing and posting a ton of comedy, like brand new comedy, like coming out of my ears comedy, I'm probably in a dark place.
Yeah, all of my best work, no matter how cheerful it is always done when I'm either under the most stress or something's upsetting me, something's bothering me.
Right. I apologize for the lag on coming back to you guys. I finally found what I'm going to play later. So the next person is Russ, and he may not have thought of this, but in addition to your Facebook at the bottom that I have scrolling for everyone, and it is in comments, I'm going to post it again. The other thing that Russ should tell us all about is his new kitty. Speaking of animals.
So speaking of animals, Dory and Grant Lankard conned me into getting another kitten. So, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we got a 5-week-old kitten.
You just predicted your future. We knew it was going to happen.
Well, I like dogs, but I like cats the most. I don't know why. I just have always liked cats, and they always have loved me. Even cats that hate people love me. So we had been looking at a kitten for a while, but with my wife and kids getting hit by a drunk driver with no insurance a few weeks ago, we've really got in a bad situation, so we couldn't afford a kitten. And like that door kind of closed. And then the night that I went live with Grant and Dory, we were talking about the charity auction that's going on right now for CB4K. I brought up the fact, that my cat Midnight's 18, and I was really on the fence about getting a kitten for her. And they said, you should do it. It'll be good for her. And so then I went upstairs and I told Tiffany, I was like, well, I guess it's meant to be, because where the kitten is where I'm going for work tomorrow. So I guess see if she can meet me tomorrow on my way through, and I'll bring her back to Washington with me, and you can pick her up for me on my way back to the shop. So I met up with the lady at Walmart, and I didn't even say, see how the kitten was. I was just like, cool, see you, peace. And she's adorable. She's absolutely cute. She's a tortie. She's a tortoise shell, and she's got a little V on her face, and she's 5 weeks old. And so I snuggled with her, of course, for about 5 minutes before I left, and I had gotten a box at my last stop to put her in so she would be safe in the truck, because I drive a big truck. And that lasted 2 minutes. Like, she was over there mewing, and I stuck my hand in there, and she started loving on my hand. And I was like, all right, come on, you can ride in my lap as long as you're good. Well, she turned upside down and just slept in my lap for an hour to meet my wife.
Aww.
And so the kids are absolutely excited, and she's adorable. So, yes, I do have a new family member, Esmeralda, or Ezzy for short.
And I'm going to throw this up here because, we were just talking about comedy. So, I'm going to do I read this out loud, or do I let anyone read that? Or is Russ mad at me for putting it up there.
I wrote a Russ-inspired stand-up joke. More than one cat at home. Worried about giving them both enough love? Don't fret. Most men revel at the idea of having too much pussy around. Enjoy.
Yes.
Do you like my infomercial ad there?
Yeah.
I love that because I was sitting here going, the look on his face. He looked so shocked. Like, is he mad at me?
No, I was getting ready for my I was getting my radio voice ready.
I know.
So
Okay.
guys, cb4k.org.
Josh has to go, you guys. Oh, he has to hop out. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna
Let
come back.
Josh go, and then you can come
We're
back
gonna,
to me.
he's already done his end pitch thing.
Yeah, I did
but-
my thing.
yeah, he's already done that. But Russ, I'm gonna let you talk about comic book for kids in 1 second. But we'll let Josh tell us goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. Am I supposed to do like the stairs thing when I walk up the stairs?
Nice.
I do want to make sure. I want to make sure real quick before you go. Josh, Anna did say I've wanted to find a dinosaur for years.
Saw that. Remember that.
Love literary, auditory, and visual arts, and good to know. These were, I believe, things she threw up when you were talking, so I wanted to make sure you saw them before you left.
Yep.
I feel bad because I'm normally not this behind on comments, you guys, but we were
Okay.
absolutely on a roll with what everybody was sharing. And then Anna said, love animals. I can relate to having a phase. Okay. So the rest, yeah, so you're good, Josh. I got the ones that she had wrote to you taken care of.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Being here.
Yeah, when this is over, not before, but when everybody's done here, if you want to hop over to Tales of the Podcast, that's where I will be. If you want to see this lovely face just a little bit longer tonight, I appreciate you
Podcast
having
are you going on?
What's that?
What's the channel name?
Tales of the Podcast. It'll be live streaming on Facebook and all that.
Oh, are you? Because I'm looking at everyone live and I don't see anything like that yet.
Oh yeah. I'm getting ready to hop from this one to that one.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Red Valkyrie's live. Two Brothers is live. Creators Outlet is live. Livid Comets is live, and Kevin Helm is live.
It starts at 11. But
Oh.
yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It was nice to meet you guys, Russell.
Josh.
You. So it's good to talk
Nice
to you
to
guys.
meet you.
Yep.
It's good to talk to you, Josh.
Everybody that listened and watched, thank you, and help these guys out. Russell's got a good thing going on. I've been kind of keeping tabs on it, so it seems pretty cool. I think that's still going. He's going to talk about it in like 2 seconds, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I
You're
put it
good.
down and I only really everyone's charity and everything that everyone's talked about today is important and it's critical and it matters. And but Russ's is happening until Sunday at 8. Russ.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I have it down at the bottom for those of you that are watching and those of you that are here. I did change the ticker at the bottom to be the Facebook link. It's kind of a long one, but it is in comments in a clickable link. So go ahead and tell us a little more about that, Russ, about the auction.
Have a good one, Josh. So first
Bye,
off,
Josh.
you had me talk about the kitty, so you got to give me the full screen so I can show.
I
off
was
the
gonna
kitty
say I need to
for
see the
everybody.
kitty.
No,
Yes, I need
I'm
to see the
doing
kitty.
it. Hold on.
So there she is.
How's that?
There's my Peterbilt steering wheel, and there's me.
Oh, kitty.
That's
wow.
me in my big truck driving down the road, and
Kitty.
it's bouncing all over the place, and she's just like, I'm going to my forever home.
Oh.
Anna
Aww.
And so,
got Piper.
and then she's tiny here. This will give you a reference to how tiny she is. This is my daughter, and that's how little bitty she is.
Oh.
And then there's her meeting my 18-year-old cat. I know
Wait
everybody.
a minute. You already have that framed, or is this on a phone?
This is
fine.
my tablet.
Or tablet, yeah.
And then there she is when I got home. There's Daddy snuggling with her.
Oh,
Yeah, that's your cat. That is your kitty.
Piper.
Oh, for
He
sure.
tried to say that it was so cute the day that he got her. It's a girl, right?
Yeah, it's a girl.
He tried to say he was just gonna go see.
Yep, there she is. She's already claimed her spot on the couch.
He's like, I'm just gonna go see. Yeah, sure you are. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah, I know. If I would be that crazy cat dude, I really would, because I love animals. I love nature, and I feel like horrible. Like I stop for animals in the road, and I don't care if people rear end me or not, because at least the animal didn't die. And like people get pissed off at me. I had somebody call in one day, like for one thing, it's illegal where we live to hit ducks or geese when they're crossing the road. It's illegal. It's like a huge fine. And I had somebody call in one day because I stopped because a mama and her 8 babies. The mama had made it across, but the babies hadn't. They called in on me because I was stopped in the middle of the road to let these baby ducks go across. And I'm like, what kind of a monster was just going to run over these ducks? Like, we need to find them and take them out, you know?
Wow.
So, yeah. What kind of...
Oh, I love that.
So I threw this up. These are the auction that Russ is going to talk about. This is some of the artwork in here. You want to tell as I scroll through this for everyone?
Yeah. So real quick, CB4K.org is a charity that helps kids in hospitals. So like I had talked about, Roderick had open heart surgery. They brought him in some books and some toys, and they had it made a huge difference. And you know, we were able to sit back. So I thought I looked for some places that did this kind of stuff, and I never really found anything. And then I met John and Mary with Hooked on Comics. They did a charity event every Saturday at 8:30 Eastern, well 8:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern time. That they sold spots for $10, and they would give away a book, and they talked about CB4K.
Right.
And I heard the message, and I was like, this is awesome, you know? So basically what they do is they send coloring books, comic books, Pez dispensers, pop figurines, stuffed animals, toys, all kinds of stuff to hospitals and cancer centers nationwide in the U.S. And the hospitals hand this stuff out to critically ill children. Some of these kids may not ever get to go home again.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for $25, just $25 is enough to ship one box to a hospital of, you know, 100 comic books, 125 comic books. So,
Right.
I mean, just raising a little bit of money like that, $25 could potentially change the lives of 125 children. And, you know, you're bringing solace to a child that may pass away in the hospital. You're teaching a kid, you know, 20 years from now to be a giver to this charity, or to donate books to the hospital, or dress as a superhero and go to a hospital and make a difference in other kids' lives and pay it forward. Because as a child receiving this is a huge deal. It makes a big difference in their life. And, you know, these children could grow up and be the next comic book creator, something they would have never thought about doing. And they may donate books to this charity or to hospitals to give out to children and to keep it rolling. And so I really love the charity and what it stands for. The first thing that I did is I started doing T-shirts. I did a Xenonanic Titan T-shirt. It's if you want to zoom in on me real quick, Dory, before we go to the auction.
I was going to say.
Oh, I got it on. Don't worry.
I was like, yeah.
Aww.
Nice.
So
nice.
This is I'm a Titan for CB4K. Sorry. So this is me as Xenonanic Titan, my main character, reading a book to Roderick after an open heart surgery with Sissy at the end of the bed with a get well balloon. So I made this T-shirt as part of my Kickstarter. It unofficially, but officially, the money went to CB4K. You can't do a charity on a Kickstarter, so it was like under the radar. But the Kickstarter failed. But Mark had been trying. He's the owner and creator of comic books for kids. He's based out of the Chicago area, and he'd been looking for somebody to do T-shirts, and nobody would answer him. It had been a few weeks. He gets on Facebook. He sees my post with this T-shirt, and he's like, I love it. So his daughter messages me, and the rest is history. I am now the official T-shirt supplier for CB4K.org. You can get this T-shirt, which is the unofficial but official CB4K T-shirt, because it's not the official slogan. It's actually, I'm a champion for CB4K. Of course, mine's Titan because it's Xenonanic Titan. But you can get these shirts at XenonanicTitan.com. There's tank tops, T-shirts, hoodies, children's apparel. 100% of the profits made from any of the apparel bought on my website goes to CB4K.org. And then one of the other things that I do is...
Russ. Piper, are you talking to an animal?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Russ.
I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all have heard it the whole time, but one of my rescue cats, he has to participate in any streams that I'm on.
I'm just saying, I'm so sorry, Russ, but I'm like, I think she's talking to an animal.
Yeah, he's been meowing and trying to get my attention and attacking the green screen this entire time because if he is in here with me when I'm doing a stream, he will not leave, and he has to figure out how to make himself part of the stream.
Aww. Okay.
How cute.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you. You have to put him in the stream, but I wanted to. No offense, Russ, but I'm like, wait.
He's the most recent rescue, and his name is Mr. Meowgy because he just says meow when he meows, like a lot, and he talks a lot.
Like right.
So did I completely ruin your concentration?
No, you didn't ruin my concentration. Okay. So all 100% of the proceeds from
now I want you. Go ahead.
So 100% of all the profits from the apparel on the website goes towards cb4k.org, even the unofficial T-shirt. Like I said, there's kid stuff, there's adult, there's the hoodies, and you have tank tops and all that good stuff. So the next portion, what that brought forth is Mark made me official member of CB4K, which is totally an honor. I'm humbled to be able to do this and help so many kids across our nation experience what my child experienced in the hospital. It means a lot to me to do this for them. Yeah. So I was told I have the ability to auction off items. I was blown away. I put it out there a couple weeks ago that I was doing an auction that was starting last Friday. And I said, does anybody want to donate anything to the auction? Books, art, comics, whatever. And the turnout was amazing. I believe we have like over 30 items now that are up on there. This piece is by Andre Osh with Dre Studios. This is a painted sketch card.
Yeah, so I'm for timing's sake, because I don't know how much time everyone has. I'm assuming
if you back out of that and you go to I'll send you the last post I did. You can flip through them. It's just an album.
Okay, good, because this is obnoxious.
Well, I did it so the problem was
is not the last post on your page, because I can find it.
No, it wasn't the last post on my page, but yeah, I mean, you can find it. It's I don't know, there's a lot of kitten posts.
I'm sorry. Look at what I'm going. I am publicly going through Russ's page online.
Oh, that's right. Show off all the cute kitty pictures.
I'm like, well, but if you I don't post everything public. So, real quick, while you find the link that'll let me do a better kind of easier scroll of the pics, because the way that I would in that particular post, I was having to click out of each picture to go back.
Yeah, so, and the reason why I did that is I posted it the first time and I did pictures and it wasn't allowing people to comment on it. So then I changed it to individual comments so they could just go comment on it. So I just sent you the link for it.
Okay, so real quick, Anna said, love this. I'm going way back. I want to make sure every comment gets thrown up and acknowledged. That's part of our format of the show, you guys. Bear with me. So Anna,
I'll be back in just a second while you're doing that.
I can relate to having a phase like that, Piper. That was probably when Piper was talking about the animals. Seth said, plus Lobo has had a great effect on your mental health from what I see. I'm assuming he's referring to one of the pups behind your green screen. Because then we've got, I saw her comment, Adventures of Piper. She says, yes, I met Lobo volunteering and has become my trained service dog and changed my life. I love that. And while only because it's on my mind, I have a whole stand-up joke about how dating because my webtoons comic strip is the Amazon Beauty Does Dating, Love, and Spirituality. It's a combination of all of my needs. And one of my jokes is dating at 51 after 2 divorces is a lot like trying to date a rescue. And I'm trying to date. It's a lot like being a rescue. No, excuse me. It's a lot like being a rescue, but I'm also dating rescues. If I stay age appropriate. And then she also says, now if I could only stop collecting abandoned cats. Oh, look at your kitty.
Yeah, he's the most recent one. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about I'm thinking about putting them on my website just to tell their story because
yes, Piper, do that
because they're interesting.
Kristen Al says great show. Hopefully he's still here watching. Anna says, "Oh man, so cute." I think this was when you were showing the pictures of the kitty, and now she gets to see kitty. She also says, "Great to know about this stuff. Thanks for raising awareness, guys."
I'm seriously gonna cry.
I
came downstairs and my wife couldn't find her, and she was looking everywhere. No. She snuck onto the stairs and was sleeping in my uniform that I took off today.
Oh, I told you that is your kitten. That is your kitten specifically.
Was you looking for daddy, baby girl?
Well, when I think about that joke I wrote about, what guy can't get enough pussy, I know I'm probably gonna expand that into something about being a poly owner, like a poly animal owner. Cause just to give you guys some backstory, well, he shared it actually. Like he was worried he wasn't gonna be able to. I saw your message, Lisa. Make sure you get. So we got to make sure that when because Lisa's just let us all know she's going to be leaving soon. So, did you want me to round out and I know you said 10 minutes, Lisa, but do you need to go now, or do you want me to give you the platform for a bit?
No, I can wait about 10 minutes. Okay. Be fine.
Okay, let me go to Russ's. Okay, so I got this link that he gave me.
So we had a huge turnout. We had people donate over 30 items. She's going to scroll through the stuff real quick. We had a great turnout. I absolutely am humbled again by all of the stuff that everyone donated. Guys, please go comment on the stuff. I mean, I lowered the bids, start bids on a lot of them. Shipping is included in the start prices. Just buying one of these items can get 3 boxes of comics, pops, Pez dispensers, coloring books, stuffed animals, all kinds of stuff to these hospitals and help these children that, like I said, they may not ever get to go home again. Have a moment of peace. Think of all the smiles that you buy a piece of art for $65, which is a steal for some of the stuff that's on there, and you're going to bring smiles to 300 children in hospitals. I mean, that's priceless. The art is beautiful, but the smiles are priceless. Yeah, and you should be able to just use your arrows on the keypad to scroll through.
Give me the edited short version of who the creator is in the.
So the creator in this is Dory Jones, and you get backdoor access to her. I mean, website.
Okay, next.
And that is Eric Hawkins. That's Alligator Loki.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, shoot.
Did you say the start? Now they can go to the link that you provided, and it'll say what the starting bids are, right?
Yeah, starting bid on this Alligator Loki, I think I dropped it to 65.
Okay. Next.
Yeah, and then that is the original art for the CB4K T-shirt done by April Grady Reyna. That is a girl with cancer reading a comic book, dreaming of being a superhero. So it's taking her out of her head, out of what she's going through right now, and putting her in a better place.
Nice.
That is the proof edition, which I have right here, of Xeno Nanite Titan. It has the error on the spine that says Studios instead of Studios, and it also has the error with the art page out of order. So the art actually came after the beginning of the chapter instead of at the beginning of the chapter. I will draw a stuff pool in here. I will sign it. I'll lick the spine, whatever you want to do. Start bid on that is $75, and that is a one-of-a-kind book that will never be printed that way again.
Yeah.
That is a piece by Marseille Phillips. That is a Punisher piece. I think the bid on it right now is $10.
Nice.
And then that is the Scarlet Huntress book pack from Sean Forney. You actually get 4 comic books. The red one in the background is Scarlet Huntress's Field Guide to Cryptids and Other Creatures. It is a humongous book. It's like over 100 pages, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's all kinds of different cryptids, the stories behind them, artwork from a phenomenal set of artists. Plus, you get all those super sweet hollow foil stickers. The bid on this is $35, and nobody has bid on it yet.
Wow. And Sean Forney, yeah. And for anyone watching, Sean Forney has a YouTube, and he sketches and draws and all that jazz online. He's amazing.
Yep. Sean Forney illustration. Look him up. That is a Ronin piece done by Rodney Fike. The start bid on that is $65. No one has bid on that yet either.
That's beautiful.
And then that is a piece by George Perez. That is a $300 piece there, donated by Marseille Phillips.
Nice.
That is
when does this end, Russ?
by
Sunday at 8.
Yeah, it's in Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. This is a piece by Martha Schwartz for Seed Seekers. That is I believe that is the marker piece. One of them's marker, one of them's mixed media. That is the mixed media piece. That is also Seed Seekers by Martha Schwartz.
Okay.
How do you bid on this?
You just go comment on the picture, the post that's scrolling at the bottom, or the link that she put in. It's pinned to the top of my page, so if you just add me as a friend, it's pinned to the top. If you go through the comments, each one of these is posted as a comment, and just reply to that picture and bid on it. It's pretty much like a auction.
I'm trying to chat as well.
Okay.
Next.
So that is Spider-Man 11. You get the next piece, which is a Wonder Woman commission. And then you also get 50% off of another commission. This is a 3-pack. Like I said, you get Spider-Man 11. You get the Wonder Woman sketch cover, and you get 50% off of another commission from Pete Vasquez. I think the start bid on this is $50.
Nice.
That is a Boba Fett 12 by 18 cardstock print. You can get it signed or unsigned from Rodney Fike. Start bid is $25. And then the next one should be Beetle. Oh, nope. It's the original art for Rodney Fike, CB4K.org t-shirt. That is Buddy and Dude from Pitter Patter reading A Little Boy in the Hospital comic books.
Nice.
That is that is a comic book done by Michael Gonzalez's 9-year-old daughter. She wrote it. She did the art and everything on this book. And she also made the Pokemon card that goes with it. You get this, as well as the 4 paintings that she painted, which should be the next tile. Okay, or not. It's out of order. That's a $25 stuff pull. You get Baby Yoda.
Baby Yodi.
That is from Grant Lanker. That's Wonder Woman sketch piece. This is something that I threw in. I have 7 original art boards that are, these are done by Trevor Von Eden, the co-creator of Black Lightning. These are actual pencil and inks unpublished boards. These are the only existing copies of these. You also get a framed letter from Trevor Von Eden stating that, he penciled and inked these, and that he hopes it raises a lot of money for the charity. I bought it from a charity, and I'm redonating it into another charity. And then that's a Conan piece by Grant Lanker.
Okay.
And
is this what you were just talking about?
That is another panel from what I was just talking about, and that's the actual letter from Trevor Von Eden there.
Yeah, it's just a Facebook thing, the way they order stuff. This looks like, Meredith.
Yeah, so Meredith Loughran put in Compendium of Dread as well as the Continuum, and you get a signed copy of Reaper, and you get all 3 of those $50, I believe.
Nice.
That is a piece done by C.B. Zane. That's Kitty Pryde and Lockheed.
Is it Spyro? That looks like Spyro the Dragon.
That is Lockheed, which is Kitty Pryde's dragon.
Huh.
Wow.
And that is $100. There's Dory, and Dory has a bid on her.
That's because everybody wants me.
Dorian.
And then that is done by Richard Parada. That is Black Widow. That is $100 start bid.
That is so much a steal. $100 for her? That's a steal.
And then that's Donatello. Not Donatello. Michelangelo. And that is a piece done by Rodney Fike. That one is also a $65 start.
Nice.
Then
Okay.
that's Andre Osh's The Thinker. And then that's a Continuum piece that went with Meredith's. That was the 3-pack.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's out of order from the first one. That is RoboCop, done by Warren Brown. That is a $50 start. That is a Loco Hero entry piece that Marseille Phillips did for the contest. It is $40 start.
Wow.
We don't know who Loco Hero is. That is the book that Money Michael Moore just launched on Kickstarter earlier this year. And number 2 just funded on Kickstarter. That's Beetlejuice. That's a 12 by 18 print on cardstock that can be signed or unsigned with a $25 start bid. There's more pieces of the 7 art boards. And it actually has a DC copyright on the back of each page.
I just noticed the thumbnails at the bottom. You guys might not be able to see them, but
that is Ahsoka Tano. That is done by CB Zane. It's a $100 start. That is a nice piece, and it's a pretty good size piece.
these are the ones for.
Those are the paintings from Michael Gonzalez's daughter. I absolutely love them. I have them sitting below me. I would get them, but Esmeralda is snoozing.
Don't move the kitty.
Oh shoot! Nice.
Chainsaw Head. That is done by Warren Brown. That one's $50 start.
Wow.
That is Chastity Rocks number 2, graded in a 9.8 CGC, donated by Marseille Phillips. It's a $75 start.
Wow.
That is the Wonder Woman piece that goes with the Pete Vasquez, the Spider-Man number 11 art incentive. Yeah. Oh, she's running in her sleep. That is done by Andre Osh. That one's a $75 start. Another sketch card. That is done by Amanda Connor. That's a $100 start bid.
I love her.
And that's King Shark and Stuff Pool by me for $25.
Why don't you take a bite out of crime? So we're back at so we've gone through them all. I'm assuming.
Oh.
No, there should still be the other piece of yours.
Oh, is it in? Are you sure it's in this post? Because I've gone through all.
No, it's not in the post. You're right. I may have done this post before you added it.
That's okay.
But yeah, there is a second painting done by Dory. That one also is $100, and you get some more backdoor access.
That's okay. You want to know why it's okay?
Oh, there you go.
So he.
Oh, sweet.
Now I didn't put him in a press thing yet, but he's sealed. And just for those of you looking or watching, he's a watercolor, but I sealed the art with acrylic gloss. So he does look ripply, as you can see. He's like kind of ripply, wavy, but he's going into a press right now. So I kept him out to show you guys before I put him away.
Nice.
Because he will be safely pressed until such time as someone bids for him. And I'm assuming
I love her so much. It's all your fault, Dory. I'm in love again.
I'm assuming Lisa needed to go, and I will be seeing her tomorrow. So I'm sure no.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to be long-winded.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just a huge advocate for these kids. I mean, you guys.
I wanted everyone to have fair time, Russ, but as I mentioned to the panel, your event is currently happening. So I wanted to
get you.
You know,
well, and it's a big deal. I mean, it's one thing to see sick kids, but it's another thing to be a parent of a sick kid and see it firsthand and see the good that it does, and to be able to advocate for that and to explain to people this makes a difference you could never understand in these kids' lives. I mean, 15 minutes of smiles. I mean, just imagine going through chemo. One of the big things that I didn't talk about that I wanted to mention real quick is, we're going back into COVID times. Delta variant's getting out of control. The hospitals here are back to one parent. Some of them, no parents are allowed. If a child is receiving chemo in the hospital for any type of cancer or leukemia or anything like that, they have a compromised immune system. They are not allowed to have visitors. So imagine going through chemo and being sick and not being able to have your parents there. These comic books, these stuffed animals, these coloring books, these Pez dispensers, these pop figures, could mean the world to these children, and I want to do everything I can to get this to them. They've got a huge order that just came in from hospitals. They need help filling, and I would just love to, if we would sell everything, we could raise easily, $2,500. It's 100 boxes that we could send out to the hospitals. And you figure 125 comic books times 100, that's 1,250, smiling. Oh, that's more than that. It's 12,500 smiling children. Sorry, it's late. I've been up since 3 o'clock.
It's okay. So we have about 6 people still watching. They made it through, Russ, so they're good. They they wanted to see all the art.
Well, there's 6 people here. How many of them are asleep?
I don't know.
How many of?
But,
I think the rest of them left to go search for kittens for sale.
I know that I'm pretty sure I threw all of these up, but I know Anna had said, I approve. I talk to animals all the time. I think this is when you were talking to your pup behind the green screen. Anna is still there. She said, wonderful. And then she did say kitty. And I'm not sure what he meant here. I thought it was Lisa's cat. I think we were talking about cats. And so the other thing real quick, for those of you that are still watching, please throw up a comment or a question because we're rounding this out. And so next, what I'm going to, oh, go ahead, Frank.
Well, I have a question for Russ. And I think Anna will say if she approves or not, but I would like to have you on the Truckle Creative Cast soon. So I'll send you a message. You're on Facebook. I'll find you on there. And you can have the whole show talk about, it's on Mondays. So you can talk about what just happened on the auction. So if you want to be on this Monday or next week, but I'll hit you up.
Hey, you know what? Whenever I do my shows on Sundays and Tuesdays, so Mondays should work fine for me.
Anna said approve. And Piper, do you have anything before I start rounding us out?
No, I'm getting kind of tired, so I can't think so good no more.
That's okay. So what I wanted to share with you guys is I hope, it's only 37 seconds, so I hope it won't get muted or dinged. It's one of those moments, remember, Russ, where I was telling you I get dinged for my own copyright?
Oh, I get it.
Christopher says, great job, everyone. Glad I tuned in tonight. Much love. I'll talk later. So what you're about to watch, that is Van Bates. That is Black Hesher, the man whose shirt I wore tonight as in homage of him. He was an extremely benevolent man, an extremely giving man. He spent much of his days promoting other artists and creators. And Lisa's watching. Lisa Punker Princess wants us to know she's listening while I do other things. Thanks again. So I'm going to hit play on this. This is a piece that was actually, speaking of benevolence, and I hear kitty, kitty. So after Van's death, probably within a week of him dying, I have since lost count of the number of private conversations I've had with people I had never even met because of their love for him or their loss or their grief and my own loss and my grief. And this, what you're about to watch, was an audio response of mine to a woman who was hurting. She was she specifically, this, I'm not going to share her name or what her question was, but she asked me a question. And this, what you're about to watch, was my response to her. And of course I have it muted because this is what I do, y'all. Can we, hit play?
The best answer for you to deal with what he showed you, to deal with what he taught you, to deal with what he did for you, is to do that for other people. That's what you have to do. You have to take what he did, how he did it, how he was there every moment, and you have to apply that to how you are with the other people in your lives and with yourself. You have to apply it for yourself. You've got to go forward and be a representation of Van to yourself that he was to you.
So that was the point pretty much sums it up as far as I, not to tote my own horn, but that's what I have to do. And Russ touched on this earlier. Regret there's a lot of things that I can't go to sleep with. Fuckboys and losers are two of them. That's the Amazon beauty talking. And regret is another one. And I right now have someone who is refusing to speak to me, has me blocked everywhere. And I can't do anything about it other than what I'm doing right now, which is going forward and doing what I hope others see me doing, and staying true to myself as much as I can, and figure out, whatever I can. I can't make this person mend fences with me. I can't force it. I can't force that. But why it occurs to me, and I talked about this when I was on Russ's show, I know what it feels like for someone to die, and I didn't mend things with them before they died. I've had that happen. And it's one of the worst, gut-wrenching, soul-splitting. If you are here, and now Diva Dory needs to say this. If you're here and you hear my voice, if there's anyone you're not speaking to right now, anyone at all, if there's love for them, if there's someone who matters to you, if it's going to bother you to find out they die tonight, fucking get over yourself, man, and call them. Just put your fucking ego aside. I'm on my little soapbox right now. I know.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing. She was trying to rip my headset out of my ears.
It's okay. It's okay. But it's, my kid is leaving tomorrow for college, my oldest boy. And I love him dearly. I have zero to complain about. My child is as close to perfection as possible, but no one's really perfect, right? He's this 18-year-old kid going away to college. He's not the best at replying to messages. It takes a while. Sometimes he doesn't reply. And so I did, with everything else we were talking about yesterday, I said to him, that's the one thing you need to work on. Whether it's with me or anyone else. Not replying to someone isn't okay. Sure, take a day or two to reply. Okay, I get it. But to flat out ignore someone.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say names or throw anyone under the bus, but I messaged quite a few people about coming on this show. And I have no problem with anyone who couldn't make it, who didn't have time, who really legitimately couldn't be here. But I'll probably never go to any of those people who I asked and they didn't even reply to say, no, I can't make it. No, I can't be there. No, I have other plans. I don't understand that. I don't get that. Am I gonna ban this person from existence? No. But they're probably not going to be in that list of go-to people that I feel like I can go to if shit hits the fan. If that makes sense to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So Lisa says, good advice. I listened to her advice and made up with someone because of her. And I will go on anytime. I loved it. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, I just encourage anyone, because that message that I played of me talking to that woman with Van and I had a huge falling out, and an incredibly very emotional, personal falling out. And it took me berating him with forgive me's in every fucking fashion I could think of, and finally messaged him from a new phone. He didn't have the number, right? Like, it was a brand new phone and you didn't have that number. And I messaged him. I told you the story, right, Russ? I messaged him while he's on the East Coast. And he looks, and I'm like, he's not going to reply to this because he doesn't know this number. But he replies to it, and he goes, "Who's this guy?" And then I go, okay, well, now I got to tell him who I am. And I thought, the moment I say who I am, he's not going to reply. Because mind you, at this point, it had been like a month and a half that this man had flat out ignored me.
Dory
but-
replied back with, "Hi, my name's Dory. I'm calling about your car's extended warranty."
But I said, I told him it was me, and his reply was, well, when I get back to San Diego, we're going to start over as friends. And I got to have him in my life again as my friend for 8 days. 8 days. 8 wonderfully blissful, beautiful days. And then he died. Like that. And I hate to take that tone there, and I hate to take it all like that for you guys, but you guys, I want to take this moment to thank you for coming on tonight and being part of tonight's panel, because
Thank you for having us.
We've only touched the surface of who we are as people, who we are as creators. Really, we could do this for another 10 days and probably still not know everything about each other. Okay. It can be that complicated, but it can also be pretty fucking simple. And I'm going to wrap it up with this and give everyone an opportunity to throw anything out there before I close out. Anything, last words, last bits of advice, piece of comments, anything you want to say. Just throw it out.
Go to zenonanitine.com and buy book 1 so I can spoil this kitten.
Right? Good point. Because making money, we can spend money on other creators if people buy our stuff. That's part. I'm not going to even lie. I will 100% own the fact that part of why I am benevolent in giving and sharing all the creators I can possibly share is because I want people to do that for me, not because I want accolades or I want attention. I want to make some fucking money so I can go buy Russ's book or buy something Piper wrote. I actually have something Piper worked on. My son is correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the Piper that dealt with Luke's hybrids, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. My oldest boy was gifted. I read it. I read it before he left with it. But my son, this 18-year-old who's going to PLU tomorrow, is taking hybrids with him.
Oh, that is so cool. That is awesome. And I love that you said that, because I'm like, dude, I'm constantly not joking. Like, I sound like I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, right? Telling the indie creators that hire me on their teams, I keep telling them, dude, your money, like what you pay me is just going into somebody else's campaign. Like, immediately, I'm just the middleman between.
Exactly. Putting money. Sure, I want to make money to just make money, but fucking 100%. I guarantee you will need to know that you do anything to put money in my coffers. It means I can go out and get money, and as Frank sent me these. They're so fucking cute. These are his characters. Let me make sure I do this right. Anna's character. Tell me who she is again, Frank.
That's Mask Woman.
Mask Woman. And Captain Goggles.
That's Captain Goggles.
Okay, I have one. It's oh wow, some art by Frank. I'm looking at the comments. And then the other one is here. It's just this is another one by Frank.
Oh, nice.
So now I didn't pay for these. Frank gifted these to me.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of, and I just told on you. I mean, I don't know if you wanted people to know that.
Comic.
I just told on you.
That's fine.
But that's not going to be forgotten. That's not going to be forgotten. Do you know how much art I have that I could give away? I have so much art. Okay, so. Okay, I know Russ shared his. Frank, we were doing round table, and I interrupted it all.
That's fine. I do want to give a message to everyone. Like you were saying, if you're holding a grudge or someone said forgive, because life is too short, just forgive and reach out if you can. And you can find me on Salazar Art Nation, and in any of my videos, there is a link tree to my stuff. So if you want to read some of the mini comics about Captain Goggles and Masked Woman, I have them up on Gumroad. You can buy a digital bundle. You get like 3 mini comics and some printouts that you can print out at home. But if you want to reach out, you want physical copies, you can reach out to me, and for a couple of bucks, I'll send you physical copies. I got 3 little issues, so you can see Anna's character.
And Piper.
What are we doing again?
this is your elevator pitch.
Oh, okay. So I highly suggest just going to adventuresofpiper.net. Wrapping it up this weekend. I finally finished work so that I can do some me work. I'm going to finish up the website. So by the end of the weekend, that website should tell you everywhere I go and everything I do. Stream schedules, all sorts of stuff.
And my final words before you guys are more than welcome to stay right where you are. So what I will do is I'm going to just give some final tips and final things I'm going to say. And then I'm going to hit play on the same video that played at the beginning. You're more than welcome to stick around and stay right here in the studio for when we're not on, I'm going to end the broadcast at the end of that video. You're more than welcome to stay in the studio and hang out. If you sign off, I'm not going to be offended or upset. And I went through all of the comments. I'm fairly certain I didn't miss any. If you feel like I didn't, let me real quick. Anna did say heart-wrenching story. This is super important for people to know. They need this advice. We all do. I think she's talking about what I was talking about, Van. Lisa said, "Love you, Dory. Support the scene." And when I hear Lisa say support the scene, because we live in this world of music locally, I mean, her way more than me. She's co-hosting my entire month of September on Sundays because my Sunday night spotlight show is going to be called Play Me a Song, and all of our guests are musicians. But support the scene in our world, the independent creator world, is kind of exactly what Piper said. We support them and they make money they can buy from us. And speaking of Frank sending me this art and why I wanted you guys to see it was one of my missions for this year is to buy from people I know, like Van, because having met someone local, having met someone who I knew made me I want more, man. I want more art, music, and writing and everything from people I know. Whether I've met them in person or not, that's not the point. I want it from people I know. So with that, I am going to put myself in solo layout for a second, and I'm going to let all of the lovers out there know that I once again appreciate so much for all of the panelists coming out tonight and agreeing to be in on this talk with me. This was the season finale of a series called Authentic Propositions of the Soul. These are Ruminations with God. These are Diva meditations that will be in my next volume, Diva book, which will be a book that is forthcoming. It's about 3/4 done because I'm an overachiever, and it will be volume 2 in a series of Diva meditation books. I do have a coloring book forthcoming. It's almost done, and so. The other last thing I want to put up here, Lisa says, appreciate you, had fun, the best. And one last thing. There's 2 times you're going to think about someone and how you were with them and how you left things with them. The first one is going to be if you find out they died. And that goes to what we were talking about. Make up with them. Just make up with them. The other time that's going to make you remember how you treated someone is if you find out that they won the lottery. So with that, I am going to say, have a wonderful evening, my lovers out there. And I am Diva Dory with Diva Daily Living, and you are loved and you matter.
We're misfits, weird, bizarre, strange, ignored, and sorrowful at times. We were bullied, abandoned, beaten, assaulted, destroyed, and wounded to our core. We are survivors, here to stay. despite what they say. Kicking life in the teeth and choosing it every day. Diva Daily Living encompasses a myriad of human engagements of life. Our topics have no limits. We do demand providing a safe space to hold for all survivors and lovers needing healing, support, and comfort. We're here to remind you that you matter and you can choose life today. I am literally not here for me. My creator put me here for you. Diva Dory.